think we would be doing it a disservice if we didn't at least start off the top with just doing a wellness check on you. Your girl Sue Bird here, she's down to the final couple of games here. Any one of these in the playoff series could be her last playoffs. How are you doing as you're watching these last final games of her illustrious career?
Oh, I'm not doing well. Thank you for asking. No, it's been it. I'm not being hyperbolic, and I know it sounds like I am, but it has been so amazing to watch and yet so heartbreaking at the same time because, like, you know, every time she goes into a city in the last couple of weeks, it's been her last time in that city, and they've done a little farewell for her. So it's like watching her career end every night for the last couple of weeks, and you know, her last home game in Seattle, which was last Sunday, was first of all, it was amazing to see. 18,000 fans, largest crowd for a women's basketball game in the state of Washington, largest crowd in Seattle Storm history. Like, so unbelievable to see all these people come out and support her at the same time. Like, I'm holding back tears as a grown woman watching this basketball game. She's just had such an amazing career, and she's done so much for the sport. And I think the attendance of that game spoke to that. You know, she helped them make history in her last game at home, her last regular season game at home, and that kind of is very emblematic of everything she's done for this league. You know, she's kind of a lot of people, I think, would call her the face of women's basketball at times. I think there's a number of other people who have kind of stepped into that role, but there was a period of time where, like, if you didn't know the WNBA, you probably at least knew who Sue Bird was. And, you know, everything she's done in terms of, like, statistics, you know, all-time leader in WNBA assists, four-time WNBA champion, 5 Olympic gold medals. Like, honestly, her track record, we could be here all day just talking about everything she's accomplished. And it's amazing to see her impact on the league as she goes through, but it's at the same time, it's so hard to watch. And I feel bad because, like, I really have only been a fan for a couple of years. I got into the WNBA around 2018. And I feel like, because it was so hard even then to find WNBA games to watch, it's gotten a lot easier. There's still some gaps, but, like, I feel like as a fan, I missed out on so much of her career. And I think that's part of where my sadness comes from, is that I didn't get to watch, partly my fault because I just wasn't into the WNBA, but partly because it wasn't easy to just stumble upon in the early 2000s and even in the 2010s. So, like, I'm watching this knowing that we missed so much of, like, the peak of her career and some of the best moments. And I think that's what makes some of it a lot harder. But all in all, it's been bittersweet to watch these last few weeks.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And, you know, you hit on some great points there as well, too, because you rewind even 5 years ago, like you were saying, it wasn't as easy as just, you know, buying WNBA League Pass and firing it up on your computer, which it's kind of crazy to think that in that 5-year gap, we've now gotten to the point where it's kind of similar to the men's packages where they actually have regional blackouts and all of that going on now, which would have been unheard
Equality.
of. Exactly. There you go. So now the women's fans are also getting stuck to it on regional blackouts, just like the guys' side are. But I mean, Sue Bird, like you said, phenomenal career. And I'm sure you've probably seen it there, the little highlight of the little girl trying to give her the flowers on the sideline when she was trying to inbound the ball there and in her last home game. But
can you hold this for me?
Yeah. Just take this here, middle of the game, no big deal. But it really does speak to the impact she's had on that game, where for a long period of time, not only are players who are in the league now, you know, admirers of hers, but that next generation of 6, 7, 8-year-old girls still really do look up to her. And, you know, I would be very interested to know what sort of her second act is going to be, because she doesn't strike me as a person who's going to sit at home and, you know, crochet until the day she dies, right? Like, she's, whether it's next year or maybe she takes a little time off and, you know, decompresses a little bit, but can you see her going in one particular direction or another? Like, do you see her being maybe the front office style? Do you see her getting into coaching? Like, if you had to guess, what do you think she does for her follow-up act when she does hang up her shoes?
I've got so many theories, some of which are substantiated and some of which are not. But I definitely think I think something is in the works, because there was a tribute video that her former teammate Swin Cash narrated. I think it aired before her last home game, and Swin said something to the effect of like, "I know what's coming next, but I know I have to keep it secret." So my theory, again, completely unsubstantiated, is that like the day the WNBA season ends or the day after, however it ends, there's going to be some sort of announcement about her signing a contract with likely ESPN or some sort of broadcaster. I think she is going to go into media. We saw her in the playoffs last year do some commentary during the finals with ESPN, and she was fantastic. Like, she was really, really good on the panel. We saw the Bird and Taurasi show during March Madness. I think we obviously have to wait for Diana Taurasi to retire for that to happen, but I definitely think media is going to be part of her future. And she's also kind of indicated that ownership is part of her future as well. She became a part owner of Gotham FC, which is New York's NWSL team. A couple of weeks ago that was announced. So she said something about sitting on the sidelines in Seattle. And I imagine that, you know, maybe whether it's the Seattle Storm or some other WNBA team, I think she'll go into ownership there as well. But yeah, it definitely seems like, fortunately for us, this isn't going to be the last time we see Sue Bird. I think she's going to be well involved in the game going forward. And, you know, she's really passionate about a lot of things outside of the game. You know, she does a lot of advocacy for LGBTQ plus rights, and she and Megan Rapinoe have started something called Love is Uninterrupted, which is in support of trans rights. So I think that between her philanthropy and then, you know, ownership in media, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Sue Bird, fortunately for people like me.